In the heart of the nation, there's a spark that ignites. Mona Miller, a patriot in the brightest of lights. A veteran of battles, both seen and unseen. With a smile like sunshine, she's people's queen. Mona Miller, with the wisdom to share, a buck tussler of joy beyond compare. She'll challenge propaganda with a grin so wide, a beacon of hope in this turbulent time. From the times of her service to the streets that she roams, Mona spreads laughter like seeds she has sown. With a twinkle in her eye and a joke on her lips, she's a warrior for happiness in a world that often slips. Mona Miller, a light in the dark. With her kindness and humor, she leaves her mark. In the battle for joy, she'll never back down. A true buck hustler and her smile weighed around. The trials and hardships, she stood tall with a heart full of love. She answers the call, for Mona knows the power of a smile sincere. She'll share it with all spreading cheer. Mona Miller, a force to behold. In the fight for happiness, she's bold. With her laughter and grace, she leads the way. A true buck hustler, come what may. So here's to Mona Miller in her quest to bring cheer. A symbol of joy, a world that's soft and drear. May her laughter sound in the hearts of all she meets. Mona Miller, a buck hustler sweet.
All right, my mic was muted. All right, good evening, everybody. I'm glad to see you. Tonight, I'm going to debut some of my songs. See, I've been writing songs since I was 7 years old. And I wrote them down and I put them in an envelope and mailed them to myself. And a couple of them I did manage to copyright through the Writers Guild in LA. But most of them have just sat in a book or stayed there, the words in my head. And because I don't play music and I can't afford to go into a studio and record my songs and put together musicians and studio time. I mean, studio time is ridiculous. It's like $200 an hour. And every musician you add is another $50 to $100, depending on how many hours it takes you to collaborate and put the music all together with each instrument and everything. I can't do it, can't afford it. So my song set on paper, tucked away, waiting for a day when something, to me, I don't like the implications down the road, but right now AI is a blessing. It gives me a chance to take the words to my songs and put them to music. The first song we're going to be debuting right now is called The Gang. Now, I needed to write something that paid homage to my vets. And so I'm going to show you, take a listen to what we came up with The Gang.
When I was growing up, It was cool to belong to a gang. Everyone had a handle like Moose, Killer, or Bang. Gang members stood by each other when times were hard or sad. No one ever messed with me for the colors that I wore, told that I was bad. The gang had a clubhouse where special meetings were held. The bond between the brothers was stronger than a 10-ton weld. We had a special greeting whenever we would meet. Being in the gang was oh so very neat. All my friends joined with me. This made my gang strong. Fighting side by side whenever anyone did us wrong. My gang is now famous, they're known from shore to shore. We have 1 million members, but there's always room for more. We all fly our colors, they're red, white, and blue. We fight to keep America free for every one of you. We all have cool handles, like Private, Seaman, Sergeant, or Marine. We are proud to say we are American, saluted whenever we are seen. We have many branches, and each plays a special part. Some members fly the skies, others sneak around in the dark. Some drive tanks on hostile terrain, others sail the ocean blue. We all are respected for the great job we do. I would like to thank the gang for keeping my country safe and free. For if not for the gang, where would this country be? For if not for the gang, where would this country be? Between the brothers was stronger than a 10-ton wheel. We had a special greeting whenever we would meet. Being in the gang was oh so very neat. I would like to thank the gang for keeping my country safe and free. For if not for the gang, where would this country be?
Well, come on, guys, in the chat. Anybody here? I see Angie's here. Tell me what you think of that song. Oh, Angie, thank you. Thank you. Yes, this song was just a poem. And during Veterans Week, I would get up and read the poem to my vets in my own special way of telling a story. But thanks to my friend who happens to have purchased a program, an AI program that does songs, we were able to take my words, add it to the AI, and ask AI to create the music. Now, we went through, I think, 3 or 4 different genres of music and styles until we found the one that I thought fit the best. And that's what I got. At least now it is a song and I'm proud of it. It's mine. I wrote it. Those are my words. The only thing AI did for me was help me put it to music. And for that, I am eternally grateful, because it would have never been in music. It would have laid as a piece of paper in my file box forever. Well, now it's out there. Thank you, Billy Bob. Thank you. It's it warms my heart to know that we have been able to put my songs to music. Okay. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about this next song. This next song is called If Heaven. This song came about because a friend of mine, I was going to North Ark College. And I was taking drama classes. And one of the classes, one of the assignments was to have a dramatic reading of someone's poem. Well, my friend Heather Croson had written this, and she gave it to me, and she says, here's one, Mona. See how dramatic you can make it. Okay. And I got an A. I did it as a reading, a poem reading. And she said, it's yours. You can have it. So when we got to messing around with the app, I said, I wonder what AI could do with this poem. And we went through several renditions of it as far as music goes, and finally settled on one that would, uplift it. Now, you understand, this song was written for someone who had been, they had little time to live. And they were going to pass away. But they wanted something, this was written in order to celebrate the life of this person and help them to pass on with joy in their hearts. So I hope you like this one. This one here is called If Heaven.
If heaven was a time, it'd be twilight when the fireflies start to flicker on the lawn. If heaven was a town, it would be my town, where all the people still wait as you go by. You see, heaven is made of that, so I'm not afraid to die. Now baby, don't you shed a tear for me. Everybody dies sometime. If heaven was a pie, it tastes like cherry, heavy on the touch, but just one bit would satisfy. If heaven was a season, why it would be spring, not too cold and not too hot, to sit on the porch and cool lemonade. You see, heaven is made of that, so I'm not afraid to die. Now baby, don't you shed a tear for me. Everybody dies sometime. If heaven was a teardrop, this would be my last one. Baby, pray that heaven sends a train and make it a fast one, to take this old weary traveler home. Now baby, don't you shed a tear for me. You celebrate my life. You see, baby, heaven is made of that. I'm not afraid to die. If heaven was a teardrop, this would be my last one. Baby, pray that heaven sends a train and make it a fast one, to take this soul weary traveler home. Now baby, don't you shed a tear for me. You celebrate my life. You see, baby, heaven is made of that. I'm not afraid to die.
Now that one is a little on the sad side, you might say, but you know, the person was in hospice, and you know, always said to celebrate her life, and that's how many of the words from that come. And I thank my friend Heather Croson for putting that together in the poem form. And I do appreciate my friend and the help of AI to finally take that poem and put it into music. Now, this next one has a pretty long story behind it. It's a true story. I was 7 years old, going on 8, and it was near Christmas time. And the teacher had asked us all to write a letter to Santa Claus. Well, I had recently been saved, and I thought about Santa Claus and what Christmas really was, and what it was that we was really celebrating. And my letter to Santa Claus wasn't a letter to Santa Claus. It was this song. Now, I had my own tune for it, and for many, many, many years, every Christmas, I sang that song a cappella. Never had one single musical lick to it. Well, about 4 years ago, I sent it to a friend who was with the front porch pickers out of Silver Dollar City, because I'd go to Silver Dollar City every Christmas and I'd tell my stories, and I would sing this song. Well, I always sung it a cappella. Well, my friend with the front porch pickers learned the tune to the song. And I went out there to do my Christmas stories and tell and sing my song. As I began to sing the song, I nearly fell to my knees when the front porch pickers began to play the music to the song behind me. First time in my life I'd ever heard music to my Christmas song, and it brought tears to my eyes. Well, when we sat down with AI and started working on this song, it was amazing what the artificial intelligence came up with for a tune. Several tunes. Now, mind you, we went through several different music genres till we came up with the one. I think we started out with gospel, and that was not good at all. And we went to just plain country, and then we went to classic country. This is what we ended up with this song. But keep in mind, I wrote this when I was 7 years old, because it's what I felt in my heart, and it's what I still feel, how I still feel about Christmas and Santa Claus today.
In a classroom at the grade school, just before the holidays, the boys and girls were writing notes to Santa far away. Except a lass who sat alone, her paper put away. When the teacher asked her why, so softly she did say, God is my Santa Claus each and every day. I don't write in letters, man, I just kneel and pray. Do you know his greatest gift? Salvation's his I found. God is my Santa Claus each day, the whole year round. The teacher stood in silence at what the child had said. She truly knew real Christmas Day, not from books she read. She truly meant real Santa Claus, she said in just one word. God gave us Christ for Christmas Day. My Santa Claus is God. God is my Santa Claus each and every day. I don't write in letters, man, I just kneel and pray. Do you know his greatest gift? Salvation's his I found. God is my Santa Claus each day, the whole year round. God is
Well, thank you everybody for enjoying that one. I was on a mission after Hurricane Wilma down to work in an orphanage in Jamaica. And I took all kinds of things. I took an entire collection of Disney's VHS and a VHS player, every movie he'd ever made that could find on VHS to the orphanage. And I took an entire Christmas dinner. And I sat on a chair next to a young man that told me that there was no Santa Claus. And I said, "Oh, son, but there is. There's a very special Santa Claus." And he said, "No, there isn't." I says, "Can I sing you a song? And you let me know if there really isn't a Santa Claus when I have finished." And I sung that song to him. And by the time I had finished, he said, "You know what? There really is a Santa Claus." I said, "See, I told you. Santa Claus, the figure in the red suit and the packages, that's just someone doing God's work. The true Santa Claus lives in your heart. And if you believe in him, he'll be your Santa Claus all year round. He'll give you joy and peace and love, and he cares about your every need. So don't worry, son. There is a Santa Claus." So many people have been touched by words in song. A songwriter writes a song, and a song usually starts with a story. What story is it that I want to relay in this song? How can I condense the story into a few words to carry the meaning? And so we sat down, my friend and I, and we discussed the story. That's been, my friend was bullied terribly on the internet. In fact, so much so that someone actually hacked his Google account, stole his YouTube channel, his email, his avatar, and started being mean to people on chats in his name. He was so distraught. He called me on the phone and he was ready to check out. He didn't want to live if his reputation was that bad, because what they had done is he had a relationship with a woman that he had fallen in love with online and had made plans to go and meet her and had hoped to marry and raise a family. But due to the fact that someone stole every bit of his identity and used it for evil, he was so distraught. It took over 6 months of talking and ranting and raving, and for him to realize that they're just words. They couldn't hurt him. That he could rise above those words. He could find another way. If that person could become him, he could become anew. He still not ever went back on YouTube as far as having a YouTube channel or Facebook or anything, because he doesn't want his identity has been stolen. His very heart had been torn out by words of anger and hatred that everyone said came from him, and he did not do that. And he could get no one to believe that it wasn't him. It was someone else. And as we sat on StreamYard in a private chat, we began to talk about that very thing happening to not only him, but to many others that we don't know. Bullying in cyberspace is a pandemic. It breaks people's hearts and their spirits with words. Now, I'm one of those that believes that sticks and stones can break your bones and words could never hurt you. But not everyone has that kind of wall that I have protecting my emotions. And for some people, those words and those threatening things that they say and do tear them up. It destroys them. And it nearly cost my friend his life because he was right on the brink. 5 times he was on the brink of taking his own life over cyber bullies. So we got to talking about it. Said, what if we was to give AI the story? Just basically tell AI the story and see what AI comes up with. And we were quite surprised that AI, these are strictly words written by an artificial intelligence, not by me. The music is by the artificial intelligence, not by me or my friend. We simply entered into AI the story of what was happening. And apparently, when this song was gifted to someone else that has also endured bullying on the cyberspace, and apparently, I said songs are meant to touch people. They're meant to stir emotions, whether it be love or sadness or joy or delight. They're meant to touch people's feelings. Now, this song was meant to be a song of uplifting, that don't let the people in cyberspace take your happiness. Stand strong, because in the end, karma will take care of bullies, and that you need to hold your head up high and be happy for who you are, and never ever let the bullies on the web affect your life and well-being, because in the end, it is you who wears the crown when you overcome the cyber bullies, pirates, thieves, whatever. The AI chose to use the word pirate for thieves, someone who steals your emotions, or in my friend's case, steals his entire identity. And apparently, this song has touched somebody. They only hear the negative, not the positive. This song is about overcoming the pirates of the web. And I am going to play it right now.
In a land where screens light up the night, a playground of pixels where words take flight. But beware the pirates with their venomous tongue, pushing others around till the damage is done. They think they're untouchable kings of the sea, but karma's tide will turn, just wait and see. When the internet's a playground, beware the pirates game. Spewing hate and judgment, leaving a trace. But united we stand against the cyber tide. No more hiding scars, we wear our pride. Their words may sting, but they'll fade away. We'll build a better world where kindness holds sway. When the internet's a playground, beware the pirates game. No more fear of shadows, no more silent pain. In this brave new world, our voices will ring. When the internet's a playground, beware the pirates' game. They try to sink your spirit, but they'll only know the shame. For in the end, it's they who walk the plank. Their toxicity fades, while our resilience shrinks. So let's stay on the ways of empathy and grace. In this cyber ocean, we'll find a rightful place. So when the bullies try to bring us down, it's they who meet their end while we wear our crown.
Bullets, let's sail on through waves of empathy and grace. In the cyber ocean.
It's they who meet their end while we wear our crown. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
But yes, I hear you, Billy Bob. You didn't know that Game Dev wants you put it on YouTube under your channel. It was yours. No, many, many times you figured it out. It was my friend who lives alone, hardly ever leaves his home. His whole world was in his YouTube and his conversations until suddenly it was gone. And because his Google account had been registered to a phone number that he no longer had, he couldn't get back in. He was blocked. They had changed every password he had. And it was devastating. And when he thinks about it today, it still is. It cuts to his very core. The loss of the woman that he really, really wanted to build a life with because of the spewing viper words that came off of someone who was not him. Although pretending to be him, he didn't talk like that. That's not his forte. It's been over a year and a half since everything was stolen from my friend. And my friend is a kind, loving, and caring human being. And he knows what it feels like to have cyber bullies destroy his very life, and nearly took it. It took hours and hours of phone conversations. It took hours and hours of FaceTime. 5 times he called me just preparing to end it all because of what he was seeing on the web. They're only words. They're only words. They're not going to hurt you, but they're hurting my friends and using words that they believe came from me. Yes. Okay. And the first person that was uploaded to was me. Okay. It never went on the web or anything until it was given to me. And credit was given to me. Okay. Those are mine. And most of those that you've heard, the gang, that poem has been copyright. Okay. God is My Santa Claus is one of those that's double copyright. It's copyright through the Writers Guild of LA and through the Copyright Office in DC. That one I protected highly. As there's a story behind that. I had wrote a song about around the same time. And there was, my dad used to get Country Music Magazine all the time. And I read where they were having a contest. Okay? You were to write a poem or a song. And you was to have a there was a contest. Well, I wrote a song and I entered it into the contest. I was again between 7 and 8 years old. That's when I got into my writing thing. And little did I know, but by submitting that poem or song into the contest, you lost all rights to the song. It wasn't but about a year later, and a famous country singer by the name of Dolly Parton came out with my song, a little different. I think there's 19 words or so different in the whole song, but generally it's my song, okay? And it was called A Letter to Heaven. And I found out that once I had entered it in the country music magazine, that I no longer owned that song. It was the publisher of the magazine. Okay. And that taught me a lesson. My daddy sat down with me. My daddy, being a musician, sat down with me and said, honey, the next time you write something, there's a thing called a poor man's copyright, which held water back then. You write that song down. You handwrite it down on a piece of paper and you date it. And you put it in an envelope. And you go to the post office and you mail it to yourself. When it comes back, never open it, because the postmark shows the date of its creation. And that way you're always protected. And so with every poem I have written, every song I have written, I do just that. But with the internet, it's copyright automatically when it is published. And my cousin stole your song. Well, this particular song was written, words, story. The story was written by both Dame Deb and I, just talking and putting in some lines and some words. Like, I think I came up with the internet's a playground. Okay, because I felt like a lot of these bullies out there were nothing but children being bullies on a playground with no real intentions of doing what they spew out of their mouth, but they're thinking that those words are going to cut deep, and they do. For some people, they hurt terribly. And apparently, when this song was first played, some people saw themselves in the song and took it hostilely. It's not meant as a hostile song. It was meant as an uplifting song. Don't let them get to you. Never give in to the bullies, not on the playground, not on the internet, and not in real life. Bullies are bullies, and you have to hand that over to a higher power and let karma take care of itself. Because if you stew, it hurts you. If you allow it to change your behavior or your actions or your feelings, then it is you who hurts you, because you allowed those thoughts in your mind. Don't do that. I want you to have empathy. Pray for those bullies. Pray that somehow the Maker instills in them a great big heaping helping of love. And that someday, maybe someday, they'll go back to, any bully will realize that bullying doesn't get them anywhere. It might get them attention amongst a small group of people. And if that's what they're looking for, then go for it. I'm not going to judge anyone Because if I judge you or them, then I too become a bully. I pray that the bullies out there in the cyber world come to an idea that their words do have meaning. Their words do cut like knives sometimes. But don't let that happen. They're only words. Remember, it's sticks and stones that will break your bones. But words can never hurt you. Okay? And Deb says here he really likes the gang. So I'm going to close this evening paying homage to my gang. A gang I am so proud of. Not an Antifa or a Black Lives Matter or a KKK or any of those bully gangs. They're gangs who protect us. I thank you to the 6 branches of service. When the song was written, there wasn't 6. But I thank the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, Space Force, the Marines, and Coast Guard. Every one of them is doing a service to keep us safe and free. So here's the song one more time.
When I was growing up, it was cool to belong to a gang. Everyone had a handle like Moose, Killer, or Fang. Gang members stood by each other when times were hard or sad. No one ever messed with me for the colors that I wore, told that I was bad. The gang had a clubhouse where special meetings were held. The bond between the brothers was stronger than a 10-ton well. We had a special greeting whenever we would meet. Being in the gang was oh so very neat. All my friends joined with me. This made my gang strong. Fighting side by side whenever anyone did us wrong. My gang is now famous, they're known from shore to shore. We have 1 million members, but there's always room for more. We all fly our colors, they're red, white, and blue. We fight to keep America free for every one of you. We all have cool handles, like Private, Seaman, Sergeant, or Marine. We are proud to say we are American, saluted whenever we are seen. We have many branches, and each plays a special part. Some members fly the skies, others sneak around in the dark. Some drive tanks on hostile terrain, others sail the ocean blue. We all are respected for the great job we do. I would like to thank the gang for keeping my country safe and free. For if not for the gang, where would this country be? For if not for the gang, where would this country be? Between the brothers was stronger than a 10-ton well. We had a special greeting whenever we would meet. Being in the gang was oh so very neat. I would like to thank the gang for keeping my country safe and free. For if not for the gang, where would this country be?
Yep. And I always want to let you all know that I love you. I send you hugs. And I wish no one any ill. But watch. As soon as we can, there's 2 more songs that I wrote that we're going to attempt to put to music. One is called No Handprints on the Furniture, originally written for Miss Loretta Lynn. And another song called The Old-Fashioned Garden. And right now, the AI is out of credits, but when it reloads, we'll go to work on those 2 songs. So next week on Tuesday, it'll be song promotion day. I want y'all to hear my stories. It's story time, remember? The story for today is to love one another as God has loved you. Love everyone for no other reason than that they breathe and bleed red blood. Love them no matter what they do or what they say, because the only one who can judge them will happen on Judgment Day. For God loves each and every one of you from the bottom of your toes to the top of your hair. And let you know the way that you worship Him is when you care for others. His greatest commandment was to love thy neighbor as thyself. Self-love comes first, and then you're able to spread love to everyone. So go out and bug tussle somebody. Remember, bug tussling is the art of making a stranger smile. And I know that everyone in here, everyone who sees this, has a calling to make a stranger smile in one way or another. For God loves you more than you'll ever know. So, good night and God bless.